Hi, everybody. Alexia and I welcome you to our podcast. And we've been doing a fascinating series on evolutionary medicine. And the concept is so simple, as we said before, is we were designed in a certain way, and our lifestyle had better match that design, or else there's going to be a gap. And that gap is called the mismatched diseases. And we did a lot of examples of mismatched diseases. Okay. And we come back to movement again. We were designed for movement, movement, movement. And as we said, for the strength training, the anaerobic exercise is that the way to do it is many different muscles, many different joints, many different planes, using a lightweight for safety. Well, today, let's focus on aerobic exercise. Okay. Aerobic exercise is the continuous taking in of oxygen for a long period of time, and we get all sorts of benefits from that. Now, this is really fascinating. This, in my opinion, is as good as it gets. There was a great writer, Christopher McDougall, and he was a runner. And every time he'd go out and run, he would get injured. So he'd go to the shoe store and they keep selling them bigger and bigger, what I call fortress shoes, so he wouldn't get injured. And he keeps getting injured. And what he notices is the greatest runners in the world of northern Mexico, the Tarahumara, okay, of Copper Canyon. He notices basically that these are very poor people. They can't afford running shoes. They make their running shoes out of like old tires and so forth, and they don't get injured. So he wrote a book which was something like a half a year #1 on the New York Times bestselling list. And it was called Born to Run. I'm sure many of you heard about that book. And it was of a guy called Micah True, who I spent some time with, actually, and I got to know him. And he was the protagonist. And what he would do, he'd go down to Mexico and organize races with the Tarahumara. But the book struck a chord around the world in not only running circles, but for everyone. Now, here is the bottom line. And this is serendipity at its finest, is the head of human evolutionary biology at Harvard, Dr. Dan Lieberman. In his own words, he says, my whole life, I've been an expert on the skull. 900-page book on the skull, quote, it'll bore you to death. And then when he sees this book on humans running, okay, since he's head of human evolutionary biology, he says, are humans good runners compared to other species? Say, is. So what he does, he shifts from the skull to working out the biomechanics of human running. Whoa. And in a tough journal in the year 2008, he published a seminal article showing that us humans have 26 structures which are specifically born to run. Wow. So on the biomechanics of running, okay, let's do the real short version, okay. And basically, when you're running with those fortress shoes, you are forced, because of that thick heel, to do heel striking. And according to Dr. Lieberman, is that when you do the heel striking, it's like taking a 600-pound sledgehammer and hitting your heel, and the shock waves go right up the pike through all the joints and your back and even your skull. okay? And you come down with 4 times your body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you come down with 600 pounds every time you land. So Dr. Lieberman showed that you should come down with the front of your foot, okay? And when you do that, like the Tarahumara, then you're just coming down with your own body weight, let's just say 150 pounds. So this started the whole field of minimalist running and barefoot running, things like that. So is the mismatched disease there would be back pain when you do the heel strike, because we were not designed for that. So that would be the mismatched disease. And let's do what we always do, okay? We always have to check in with Alexia. And Alexia, of course, as you know, she gives these practical pointers because you see with me how I tend to get a little too theoretical sometimes. So Alexia's practical pointer, okay, is there was a grandmother who never exercised in her life, okay? And at the age of 73, she had arthritis. She was your typical Norman Rockwell grandmother. Okay, her whole life was family. But because of arthritis, she went to an orthopedic surgeon. And he said, Mary, is you're going to have pain, but if you walk a lot and get mobile, movement, maybe the pain will lessen. She starts doing that, and the pain starts going away. Well, she started jogging. Now, of course, she's 73, but they called her Bluebonnet Mary. That was her eponym because she wore one of those old granny bluebonnets. Well, long story short, she basically set the record for her age group in everything from the 100-yard dash to the marathon. Wow, that is the power of movement. So Alexia's big pointer for the day is be like Granny, be like Bluebonnet Mary. And the more you move, the more the pain of arthritis, in many cases, will either attenuate or go away completely. So Alexia and I thank you so much for having us, and we will continue our series on evolutionary medicine, which is important for everyone, but especially Alexia targets seniors to help them out. Thanks again and have a great day. Bye-bye.